Welcome back, guys, for more Santa Lucia. Last time we became FWBs with Bryan, and then I think one of the most important things in the episode 2 last time was Ben starting to question the whole Russell thing, and wow, like I'm just like I don't know. It's like he's definitely gonna feel like an absolute dick. But oh, that's gonna be rough. I really do hope him and Russell make up, but oh, let's continue. Oh yeah, one other thing, distorted Chris face was not fun. I let out a sigh as I stretched my arms out on Brian's bed. Of course, I'm not wearing anything. Bryan sits on the edge of the bed, looking very proud about his conquest. Ever since our first time together, we've been meeting up like this as often as we can, which is usually after class. Turns out he doesn't have football practice quite as often as I thought. Glad to see you're enjoying yourself. I struggled to hide a blush and turned to look the other way. I'll admit, I'm having a lot of fun. That's what I like to hear. He gets up from bed and heads for the closet, giving me a nice view of his rear in the process. All of a sudden, his laptop roars to life with an annoying ringtone. Oh shit. Bryan sits down in front of it as a look of panic sets on his face. With a few clicks, he turns off the dance music we were listening to. Yo, toss me my shirt. I look around, patting the bed to find the missing article of clothing. I hit the jackpot when I look under the pillow. Catch! With a swift throw, Bryan catches his shirt and puts it on. He looks hot wearing only a shirt. With a motion of his hand, he indicates to me that I need to keep quiet. He angles the laptop so it faces only him, so I instinctively lay low on the bed. He quickly masks his earlier expression before answering the call. Hi, sweetie. He smiles sheepishly. Hi, Mom. How you doing? I try my best to stay as still as possible. From this angle, I've only got a good view of the screen. It's a video call, and thankfully Bryan made sure I wasn't in it. His mom stands in what seems to be her living room. She's a lot younger than I expected and seems fairly fit. I suppose it's not a mystery where Bryan got his athleticism then. Though there's one striking difference between the two of them I noticed right away. She's a brown bear. Bryan must have take after his dad or something. I'm doing good. Just came back from getting groceries with your dad. Oh wait, oh. That's Bryan's mom. I'm so sorry. I'm doing good. Just came back from getting groceries with your dad. Oh my god. He's a bit tired, so he'll probably call you another time. How about you? How have you been doing? Have you been doing well? You haven't told me anything since our last chat, and you know how much I worry about you. He rubs the back of his head. It's only been a week, Mom. I'm doing fine. It felt a tad intrusive sitting here listening in on him. I won't lie that a part of me, the curious cat, is absolutely loving every second of it. With this nasty business going around the school and that Hernandez lady being found dead on your trip, I wish you would come home. I never thought about how it must feel to have your kid attending school like this when there's a serial killer on the loose. My dad hasn't contacted me in a while. Ugh, I don't care. Mom, I told you, I'm fine. As far as we know, that was an accident. The campus is safe. There's security patrolling at every hour of the day. I'm not leaving now. Not when everything's going so well. His mom seems a bit deflated, but she takes the news in stride. Alright, alright. Can't blame a mother for worrying about her son. How are classes then? Is football going well? He smiles, obviously glad the discussion is moving into territory where he's more prepared to talk. Yeah, it's going great. I'm acing all of my classes, and the professors love me. Huh. I knew Bryan was a smart guy, but I didn't think he was the acing all my classes type. The coach thinks I might be able to secure a better position if I keep working hard. I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm glad he's doing well for himself. Really triggers the old inferiority complex in me. You're not slacking off on your homework, are you? There were a few nights when you were younger I had to argue with you just to get you to read a page of your syllabus. She puts on a voice, playfully imitating her son. Mom, I'll do my homework later. I don't wanna. You were such a handful, Bri. The image of a teenage Bryan being a brat pops into my mind's eye. It takes all my resolve not to snicker out loud. Bryan, on the other hand, seems much less amused. His eyes dart toward me, staring daggers. You know, I can't get into something if it bores me. So what if I do stuff at the last moment? As long as I get it done, who cares? It's not like anyone can tell me when I do it. He crosses his arms and spreads his legs out in annoyance. Probably doesn't help his bruised ego. I'm able to hear everything. And he also kind of forgot he's not wearing anything below the belt. Bri, honey, we've talked about. Looks at him through the screen with a stern expression. If you don't practice what the doctor told you to do, it'll be much harder for you. Weren't you panicking about that essay for your journalism class last time? Oof. That was roughly a week ago, yeah. They really talk about everything, don't they? Yeah. There's this weird pang in my chest. I feel envious for some reason. I wasn't panicking, I was just worried. There's a lot more homework here compared to high school. I just got caught by surprise, that's all. He's not lying there. I'm also in awe how much work gets shoved in my lap each week. Doesn't look like he's winning this argument, though. Are you still taking your medication? I raise an eyebrow at that. He looks away for a second, just long enough for me to catch a frown. Sorry, Bryan. This is awkward for both of us. I forgot that one time. That's it. Don't worry. The mama bear sighs. Gotta be quite the challenge raising a guy like Bryan. Don't forget, okay, hon? I'll keep you focused. Anyway, have you made any new friends lately? It takes a second for Bryan to recover from the topic with whiplash, but he takes it well. Yeah, been hanging out with Ben at the fraternity. We're practically guaranteed slots at this point. Everyone's nice, and they're all hard workers. I think you'd like them. My heart flutters at the sound of my name. Ben's that cat from your mentorship group, right? Yeah, that's the guy. It's a weird feeling to know he's talked about me before to his mother. He looks in my direction, this time with a discreet wink. Oh, I didn't know you were joining the same fraternity as him. You must be getting along quite well. So is he gay? Ooh, uh-oh. What? I very nearly blurted out my surprise verbally. What kind of question is that? Yeah, he is. And what kind of answer is that? The woman's mouth curls in a very familiar fashion. Any chance he's your special guy? I'm left stunned for what feels like an hour. I'm not terribly surprised Bryan's out to his family. The guy like him, how can you not be? But talking about his relationship so openly and involving me too? Mom. He groans in annoyance. I don't know. Should I be plugging my ears? Maybe he'd rather I not hear what he has to say. Before my body has time to commit to any action, Bryan replies. He's just a cool friend, like I told you. Your little boy's still on the market. Okay, ouch. Not that I was expecting him to tell her about our little arrangement. Considering what we just did, being just called just a friend doesn't feel good. Well, I guess he said a cool friend. That's gotta count for something. You're still young, but you'll have to settle down someday. Don't let all the good guys pass you by, dear. He rolls his eyes, clearly tired of the topic. Don't worry about it, Mom. I'll be fine. So how's Dad been doing? He clearly tries to orient the conversation toward a more comfortable topic. I'm guessing his mom doesn't know he sleeps around a lot. He's doing a lot better. Helped me carry the groceries inside yesterday. Such a gentleman. I know who you get that from. Bryan chuckles before replying. Does he still do that trick? His mother's inquisitive look prompts him to further explain. Last time we went together, he wanted to get all the groceries inside in one trip. He put everything he could on his chair, from wrapping the bags around his legs to hanging them on the handles. I carried the really heavy stuff, but he managed to get the rest of the bags pretty handily. You should have seen how he looked. He was like a dollar store Christmas tree. They both start to laugh. I'm left confused, trying to picture in my head what they meant. I assume he told you? Worse, he did it again yesterday. It was too good of a trick to do just once. Mrs. Liu wipes a tear from the corner of her eye. He was so proud of himself. Does he need to go back to the hospital? A shadow darkens her face, but she smiles when she speaks up once more. Yeah, he does. It's fine, just his heart acting up a bit. We've gone a couple of times this month, but they haven't found anything wrong. So, we're keeping our hopes up. Bryan puts on his best smile, but I can tell he's more worried than he lets on. I'm sure it'll be fine. They'd have said something if things were getting worse. Make sure to give him a big hug for me, okay? I'll talk to him soon, too. I probably shouldn't be hearing this. And yet, Bryan doesn't seem too bothered by it. Maybe he forgot I'm here? I stay silent for a bit, clearly looking for a way to get out of such a downer topic. Mrs. Liu eventually snaps her fingers. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Brianna got her first place in the competition. Bryan's ecstatic grin betrays something I haven't seen in him before. Ah, no kidding! I knew this under a text. She must be so happy. She worked really hard. She deserves that medal. Huh. This is the first I've heard about Bryan having a sister. Seems like they really get along too. I know, and they said they'd never seen a triple whip done by such a young girl. Just in time for her birthday too. She's so excited. Things have been going so well for her lately. She's acing all her classes just like you did back then. I couldn't be more proud. Bryan's smiling the whole time. I wish I could be there to celebrate with you guys. I bet she misses her big bro. I know I miss her. That's really heartwarming, actually. Never took Bryan to be the big brother type. She misses you a lot, too. Even if she doesn't admit it. Remember the band the two of you liked? Bryan thinks for a second. You mean the Flying Rats? That's the one, yeah. She considers her words for a moment. She managed to get tickets to one of their concerts. She was hoping you would be there for it. But unfortunately, you won't be home in time. Oh, that's a shame. It was nice of her, though. Isn't it? I told her she should bring Derek since you won't be there to make it. Bryan's cheerful laugh slowly dies in his throat. His mother catches herself too late before dropping a name Bryan didn't expect. Wait, who's Derek? Her expression tells me everything I need to know. Oh, you know, Derek. I figured you and your sister would have talked about this by now. Brianna has a boyfriend. Boyfriend? A boyfriend? Seriously, Mom? Can't believe this. She's only 14. Shouldn't be dating guys this early. Bryan's words catch me off guard. His mother tries her best to temper his raging fire. Bryan, calm down. Your father and I discussed this at length and decided she's old enough. Besides, you don't even know Derek. He's a charming boy, and nothing but a sweetheart to your sister. I don't care if he's charming or if he's the richest prick in town. A guy his age is only interested in one thing. I don't want that happening to my sister. He's gonna use her for sex. He's gonna break her heart. Trust me on this. Bryan's all puffed up, fur standing on end. I didn't expect him to be so overprotective, especially considering his own tendencies. If he so much as touch her, I'll hunt him down. Understand? Bryan, you're acting like you think we're stupid. We're keeping a close eye on things, but she has a right to date whoever she pleases. Just like you did back then. Bryan crosses his arms and turns his head the other way. Is he pouting? You can't watch everything. Brianna wouldn't appreciate that anyway, Bryan. Do you want us to put cameras all over her room? Backed into a metaphorical corner, Bryan is forced to relent. No, of course not. Just make sure she's safe, okay? Before his mom can reply, he utters something under his breath. And tell me if anything goes wrong, too. As if we hide anything from you, dear. He grunts in response. Alright, Mom. You take care. You too. Love you, dear. Love you too, Mom. With a muted blip, the call ends. Bryan raises the volume on the dance track once more. I know you heard everything. It's kind of hard not to. So? Scratch the back of my head for a second. So, what? He sighs, rolling his eyes and leaning back in his chair. No comments then? No, if I were you, I wouldn't let you live it down. I turn around, flicking my tail at him. Maybe I've got better manners than you do. I pick my shirt up off the ground and slip it on in one smooth motion. Which is surprising for such a mama's boy. I can practically hear him wince. Oof. Not taking any prisoners. So what? I get along well with my mom. Doesn't change the fact that I just pounded your lights out. I'm not questioning your manhood, big guy. I sit back down on the bed, joining Bryan in pantless solidarity. Guess I'm just surprised that such a free spirit can be so against his sister starting to date guys. He gets up from his chair, scrounging around his room for something. Just because I'm a slut doesn't mean I want her to be too. That's... I'm not sure I follow his train of logic here. Bryan is the best, and she deserves only the best. It's not like anyone's forcing you to sleep around, you know. Bryan shrugs, taking a swig from the bottle of water he pulled out of his mini fridge. He downs its entire contents before replying. It's too late for me, baby. I've got this rockin' bod. And horny guys like you just dying to hitch a ride. If you ask me, it'd be a crime not to use it. Panda winks, bending down to pick up his pair of pants and underwear from beneath the bed. With Bryan, it's hard to tell whether or not he's joking sometimes. Whatever you say. In this case, it doesn't feel like a joke. It doesn't feel like he's being genuine either. Is it just me hoping there's something more behind those eyes? Want to hang out at the frat house tonight? Or as I'm about to voice my thoughts, he chimes in. Change the topic, huh? It's alright. I know how it feels to be on a topic you'd rather not get into. Sure, I'm down. I shouldn't press any further. Besides, we just got finished having sex. I don't think I'm the person he should talk about this with. We both get dressed, smack talking the whole time. After a stop in the bathroom for a quick freshening up, we head downstairs. As we head for the fraternity, I make a mental note that this is the first time Bryan and I are going together. I don't think anyone will notice. And even if they do, I don't think they'll care much. But I'm excited about it. The sharp whack, my cue hits the ball square in the middle and send it all rolling across the table. It grazes the striped blue 10 ball I was aiming at, bouncing against the wall behind it and colliding with another striped ball. Both land in the holes Bryan lined them up in front of. I straighten back up, a smug sense of pride burning within. Kane and Blake both stand there, astonished. Wow. Ben, you could have warned us that you were a pool shark. I waved the compliment away, an about of humbleness. But deep down, I'm eating it all up. We used to have these back at my dad's country club in Colorado. Guess playing around with the cues as a bored kid let me get the hang of them. Kane looks at me wide-eyed. Man, I never saw one of these until I joined the fraternity. I guess I didn't consider that. I figured everybody's played billiards at some point in their life. I hope I didn't come across as a spoiled rich kid. But, the real star here is Bryan. I slapped the shoulder of my unaware partner, who was busy planning his next move. Dua? Nah, this is all you, Ben. I've played maybe 3 games of this in my life. Oh, okay. I scratched behind my ear in embarrassment. So much for being humble. I guess we just make a good team then. The game's not over yet. I suppose he's right. We're winning, but not by a huge margin. Kane's learning the ropes as he goes, and Bryan's marginally better than him. However, this definitely isn't Blake's first rodeo. Bryan tries to line up a shot, but the angle's slightly off, and he ends up pocketing the white ball. Ah, crap. You jinxed me, you dork. I stick my tongue out at him. Kane chuckles as he readies himself. Here goes nothing. He maneuvers his way to my side of the table and lines up his shot, bending forward as far as he can. Maybe bending forward a bit too much, even. Man, he's surprisingly limber for such a big dude. He readjusts once, then a second time, probably doing mental calculations as he goes. He's got an eye closed and his cheek pressed against his shoulder. His tongue's even sticking out. He lines up the cue with the ball, then the white ball hits the other side too hard, sending it spinning out of control. Somehow it manages to avoid every single one of our side's balls as it rampages across the table. My jaw drops at the incredible luck on display. Finally, it hits a solitary red ball, plunging into the hole it was sitting next to. What? How did that even happen? Dude, that was crazy. Kane gets bashful after I pat him on the back. You think so? He adjusts his glasses in an almost apologetic manner. Maybe it's just beginner's luck. Blake scoffs off as he positions himself for his next move. Good thing you're on my side, bro. Huh? Is that a hint of sarcasm I detect? In one fell motion, Blake strikes the white ball and it snaps across the table, pocketing at least 2 balls it touches. Well, I guess the score's even now. It's Kane's turn again. He's looking up and down the table nervously, clearly feeling the pressure on his shoulders. Don't screw up now. I don't think your partner would be too happy about it. Hey, I only bite when I'm losing bad. Kane takes a deep breath and lightly taps the ball with the end of the cue. Unfortunately for him, the ball doesn't get anywhere close to another. Gah, I'm sorry, Blake. Blake shrugs, seemingly unfazed. I choke under pressure all the time. Don't worry about it, bro. Kane gets back up, brushing his fur. Seems like he's pretty embarrassed about it. Quite the opposite reaction to Bryan's. He blundered his move far worse. Kane notices I'm still looking at him. He looks away and takes off his glasses, cleaning them with the corner of his shirt. Honestly, he's kinda cute. Which is weird to say since he's definitely muscular enough to snap me like a twig. Earth to Ben. Huh? You're doing that thing again. He turns to the other two. Excuse my friend, he's got a bad daydreaming habit, let's say. I don't daydream that often, do I? That's fine. I'm the same way. Don't worry about it, Ben. I clear my throat, uncomfortable with having any flaws put on display. Well, it's my turn to play. I repeat the same routine as earlier. Breathe in, breathe out. The ball is sent whirling across the length of the surface, hitting the intended target in the middle. It bounces against the other ball and flies backward, stopping right in front of our very last ball on the table. Booyah! I let out a cheer, pumping my fist in the air. Bryan pats me on the back. Ah, yes! I'll show you how a winner ends the game. The ball's all set up now. Not even a kid could lose. As expected, Bryan doesn't disappoint. He nudges the ball forward a bit and pockets the last striped one. The panda lets out a cheer and turns around, hand raised in the air. With a loud slap, we both high-five each other. Kane seems just as happy as Bryan and I, while Blake is more muted in his cheers. Sore loser, eh? He takes a step forward while clapping. Gotta say, I'm impressed. I didn't expect you two to win. What else is there to say? You make a killer team. Yeah, you guys got us pretty good. Though I wasn't much of a threat in the first place. Blake slaps his canine friend on the back. It's more forceful than I think he wanted it to be, but it carries the message across. I think we were just outmatched, bud. He turns to face us. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thirsty. Everyone want drinks? Now that you mentioned it. We all agree unanimously. I wouldn't mind getting some fresh air, too. Great idea. I'll grab the drinks and you three can wait for me out on the porch. As we make our way to the porch in front of the building, Kane mentions just how good Blake is at billiards. He speaks in an almost reverent tone. Either Kane was really dragging him down, or the cat and panda team was just that potent. Maybe both. I can feel the fresh night breeze in my fur as we step outside. There's barely anyone out apart from the girls playing a volleyball game on the nearby field. Apart from some occasional shouts from the ladies, the field is quiet and peaceful. Can't quite make out the stars due to the light, but somehow it adds to the dreamlike quality of the scenery. I rest my elbows on the handrail, taking in the atmosphere. I think becoming part of this fraternity would be the best thing to happen to me since arriving at USL. I know Russell mentioned how bad they were, but he seems like he had bad experiences even outside the fraternity system. I just can't help but feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Blake walks out of the building, holding 4 cans of soft drinks under his arms. I noticed a tinge of disappointment in Bryan's expression. Sorry, big guy. This is a respectable fraternity. The bull terrier hands us each a soda with a smile. Thanks, man. Kane's already relaxing on one of the lawn chairs, dual-screen gaming system in hand. Most of his attention seems to be on the game he's playing, but he's able to keep track of what everyone's doing anyway. Huh, I wish I could multitask like that. Blake joins Bryan and I against the handrail. Gaze fixated. Wah! We're going back to history, sorry. Gaze fixated towards the volleyball game. Whoa, watch out! The volleyball soars from the field and toward the grass in front of the house. I got it. Blake leaves his drink on the handrail and jumps down the steps and throws the ball back to the girls in a well-trained motion. A Labrador girl catches it and runs back to her team after waving at him. Nice throw! Blake returns to where he was standing, and takes a proud sip of his soda. Can't help myself when I see a pretty girl. He lets out a long, almost facetious sigh. I'd get her number if I wasn't already taken. I sip on my drink, trying my best to look as natural as possible. This is a bit outside my field of expertise for various and obvious reasons. To my surprise, however, Bryan speaks up. Yeah, I getcha. A gorgeous girl like her? I bet she got a boyfriend already, too. I blink. Does Bryan play for both teams? Or is he just trying to impress Blake? She's pretty and all, but not my type. Oh, sorry. That was Kane. Whatever. Kane barely looks up from his console when he chimes in. Did you even see her? Blake leans forward with a grin on his face. Good. Then leave all the sexy canines to the rest of us. You were always more into felines anyway. No response coming from the wolf. I don't think Blake's retort even fazed him as he continues matching away at his handheld system. Kind of reminds me of another bespectacled guy I know. Yeah. Bryan nudges me with his elbow. How about you, Ben? Would you tap that? I squint at the panda. I should have expected the question to come my way eventually. She's cool, I guess. I throw my chip on the pile. Don't want to be the odd one out after all. Cool, I guess. Blake holds back a chuckle at my remark. Wow, didn't know Ben was that picky. Oh, huh? Dude, you should see him when we're with the rest of our mentorship group. He's a total lady killer. Kitty's too humble to admit it, but he takes a sip of his drink to punctuate his statement. He's probably getting more pussy than you and I combined. Come on, it's not like that. Kane's attention has finally been torn away from the game. He looks over at us with his ears perked up. Blake, on the other hand, whistles as he rubs his chin. I'm the furthest from the ladies, man. Like, far from it. The panda wraps his arm around me and squeezes tight. See? Too modest for his own good. I throw out the most innocent look I can at the other two, begging them to believe me. So, seriously, Bryan, come on. They both chuckle, though Kane's expression intrigues me. Is that relief or is it disgust? I have to be honest with you guys. Bryan and I look over at Blake as he speaks. I had my doubts if you two were going to fit in here. My heart sinks for a second. That's not good to hear. You're both really cool dudes on your own, but together, I was getting some weird vibes. Some of the other guys noticed too. Yep. Kane chimes in as well. Shit. Is it really that obvious? But Blake holds up a finger. Today I changed my mind. I noticed you two were hanging out better yesterday, but today was definitely a stark improvement. Now, the proud part of me would like to say it's our fraternity that helped you bring you together, but I don't think we can take all the credit here. I'm just glad to see that whatever was going on between you two, you worked it out. Same. I'm sure Kane would agree with me. But you guys are really fun to hang out with. Kane nods and smiles from his chair. Yeah, it's crazy to see how much of a difference a week can make. I certainly didn't expect that twist. I was fully expecting this to be the "you're not cut out for our fraternity" moment. This almost sounds like they're taking us in. I wake my brain trying to find something to reply with. Nah, we weren't on bad terms or anything, don't worry. Ben and I decided we're gonna rush for Chi Pi Beta after all. Chi Pi Beta, bleh. I guess we managed to go from just friends to good friends really quick. So in a way, yeah. The fraternity brought us close together. The panda winks at me in a way that the other two won't notice. That's an accurate summary of what happened, I guess. Plus, he left out the whole hooking up part, which is nice. He wasn't lying about being discreet. Yeah, what he said. He just needed a shared interest to realize how similar we were. Blake seems positively thrilled by our words. That's exactly the kind of spirit we're looking for here. I know I'm looking forward to hanging out with both of you again soon. He turns to face the wolf on the chair, and I'm sure Kane would say the same. Yep, I had a great time. We wind down the rest of the evening chatting about a variety of topics before heading out for the night. Bryan and I make our way back to the dorms and part ways at the staircase. After how social and intense everything was earlier, this lonely room seems almost prison-like. Zach isn't here yet either. Guess it's time for bed anyway. I let out a satisfied sigh. I'm glad things are looking up for once. Alright, so I'm going to leave it off here for now. Whoops, wrong one. I just felt like for one day that was a pretty long episode, so I just didn't want to continue on the 28th and then have to stop halfway through. So I think this is a good stopping point. So I'm honestly glad that the fraternity thing ended up working out for them. And it's also nice hearing more about Bryan. He does have a weird logic though, and trust me, I've known people like that, people like Bryan before, where they're like, yeah, I'm a massive slut, but that doesn't mean, this, my siblings can be, and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. the overprotective types, but like they also kind of are hypocrites. So it's like it's a weird logic, but I think that's a weird, interesting aspect of Bryan, and also just and hopefully, I mean, considering how serious the story can be sometimes, I mean, I'm kind of worried about his dad and all that. So I guess we'll see as we continue. I'm very happy that now they're like being considered in the fraternity. Well, maybe. So far, it seems like it. Fingers crossed. So, well, until next time, we'll continue on to September 28th, and hopefully we can get through 29th, 30th, and October 1st. So, until next time, see you guys later.